Going to introduce us. There it is. Now we're live. Nice
Hi,
to see you.
everyone. Nice to see you. Welcome back to the Journey of Awakening. We're here with Angelica and our special guest, Andy Walks with Thunder. He's going to give us a nice healing to start us off. Go ahead, whenever you're
Oh,
ready.
well, first you have to tell me what hurts.
What
Oh,
doesn't hurt with people?
I'll give you a list if you'd like to have one.
Well, pick the worst one. Pick the
I'm
worst
always
one.
having issues with my back, my feet. Today, I think it was more my feet, perhaps, because I've got arthritic bones. So
Okay.
some days are good, some days are not. We'll
On a
just go that
scale of
way.
1 to 10, 10 being the worst, how bad are your feet today?
Probably a 7.
Okay. I'm going to tell you a series of things to say. You don't have to believe them, just say them because the spirit of your body believes what you tell it.
Okay.
So I want you to say, my whole body
My whole body
is an ultimately powerful
is an ultimately powerful
free energy magnet.
free energy magnet.
Which hand can reach your foot the best, the left or the right or
My
both of
right one. I can reach my one of my feet with my right one. I can maybe reach both of them to be honest with you because I'm sitting cross-legged.
Well,
All
let's
right.
just do them both. Let's
I
say
got both of them. I'm sorry, say that again.
my hands
My hands
are ultimately powerful,
are ultimately powerful,
personal
personal negative,
negative
negative.
energy
Okay.
magnets.
Energy magnets.
So even though you yourself do not know how to gather energy, probably not free energy specifically, your body does. Like it knows how to oxygenate blood and you don't. It knows how
Yeah.
to heal a cut and you don't. It does a lot of things like digest. We know how to eat, but the body knows how to digest it and expel it. We sometimes have a little hand in that, but ultimately the body's doing these functions, and we're consciously not in charge of them usually. So I want you to place your hand, whichever one reaches the most painful foot, and tell me what the pain level is there as you touch it.
Well, actually, I have them on each hand on each foot, and the one that's always the problem is my left foot, oddly enough. And it feels like there's energy going from both hands into my feet, and then they'll cross the bridge of the foot, which is often the worst spot. It seems to be feeling a little bit better. There's no question that, and the other foot feels a lot better, but the
On
left
a
foot,
scale of
which
1
is
to
the
10, how much do they hurt?
probably for the left foot, maybe a 4. And for the right foot, maybe less than that, maybe a 2 or 3.
So we've gone to 7, from 7 to 4 and 2 or 3.
Yes.
I want you to hold your hands there and we're going to count together.
Okay.
I'm going to place my spiritual hands over your hands.
Okay.
So don't do anything I'd enjoy.
Oh,
And
okay. I certainly won't.
oh, we're talking about feet here, how enjoyable could that? So my spiritual hands are over yours like a glove. I'm lending you spiritual power. And we're going to count together.
Okay.
1,
1, 2,
2, 3,
3,
4,
4. Okay.
4.5,
4.5,
5,
5,
6,
6,
7.
7,
I was just checking to see if you were paying attention. 8,
8,
9,
9. Okay.
10. Now take your
10.
hands like this and just flick them like that towards a garbage can.
I don't have a garbage
And
can. I could
well,
flip
think
them
of
to
one
the
and it'll
floor.
find it.
Oh, okay. There's one in the bathroom. You could go there.
It'll find that. So, what is the pain like in your feet?
I would say The left foot is still tingling, which is interesting. The right foot feels almost normal. I think the left foot is doing something.
Okay. Put your hands back on there,
On the left foot?
on both feet.
On both feet? Okay.
I'm remembering the picture I made of the panda, and it's got its bottom feet like this. Its top paws are holding a teacup. And I'm thinking of Angela like that panda with her feet like this.
I could sit like that actually if I wanted to. I'm pretty flexible that way
So,
because I sit cross legged all the time.
so we're going to count again. 1,
1,
2,
2,
3,
3,
4,
4,
5,
5,
6,
6,
7,
7,
7.5,
7.5. Okay.
8,
8,
9,
9,
10.
10.
Make your hands do this again and tell me what the pain is like in your feet, if any.
Left foot feels good. Right foot feels more normal, but the left foot feels good and it never feels good. So that's wonderful.
You can put both hands on the foot that still doesn't feel quite right and just leave them there. Your hands are going to
Okay.
be empowered to heal your whole body, whatever hurts, for 24 hours.
Oh,
And you
cool.
just
Okay.
repeat the process of placing your hand there and counting to 10, remembering that your body does what you tell it to. So sometimes you might have to say, I'm releasing this condition.
Okay.
And then your
This
body's
is
like, oh, I have permission to let this go. I'm going to let it go.
Does this work also for any kind of chronic illness that people might have?
Absolutely. It works on cancer. It works on migraines. It works on
Eyesight.
wounds. I didn't quite hear that, Elena.
Eyesight. I want to improve my eyesight.
Well, I got a story about that. About a year and 4 months ago, I was seeing my retina doctor, and my left eye kept getting 2 injections. One
Oh,
injection was to numb the pain of the second injection. So they have a little tiny needle and they stick it in the white of your eye,
Hmm.
and then you can see the fluid come in the eye because it looks, I don't know, like a heat wave in your eye, but it's a foreign fluid. So when they do the second one and they pounce on you, like, oh, I hate it when they do that. So I said, why don't I bless my eye to heal? So I gave myself a blessing. I call the grandfather and grandmother spirits from the north, the south, the east, and the west, above, below, and within, from the thunder nation, the stone nation, the ancestors, the fairy nations, the angelic realms, and all the nations and spirits that love me. I ask them to forgive me for my sins known and unknown. I ask them to make it known that I'm grateful for the blessings that have come before and those that are yet to come. I ask them to heal my left eye so that I don't have to have injections there anymore, and I want it to regenerate. Well, that part of the eye doesn't regenerate usually. I'm a type 2 diabetic, and macular degeneration is part of that road. I didn't do this eye because this is the good eye, but I did this one. I haven't had a injection in there for a year and 4 months since I did that.
wow.
But I had cataract surgery, and I got my vision to 2020 from the surgery. But yesterday, because my eyes were dry, they were 20/25. Even in this one, which is occluded by the blurriness of having blood in it. So on Tuesday, I can see well enough to drive and read signs
Wow.
to 20/25 vision in both eyes. So does it work in eyes? You betcha. And my doctor's like, that left eye is looking pretty good. It's like it's regenerating. Imagine that.
Wow. That's cool. Do you
She
feel like
knows what I do.
there's a spiritual reason why our eyes do this? Because it happened to me at a very young age.
Oh, heck, I was wearing glasses in kindergarten.
Wow.
And this cute little blonde girl and I were just talking, and we were sitting in the back of the class, and the teacher comes over and says, "You two are going to sit in the front. She's over here, and you're over there." And I said, "How come?" Because you guys can't see the board. "Oh, I'm sending a note home with you to your parents so that you can go get glasses." But that little girl and I were great friends. We're in first grade and second grade. It was fun.
And you still have a cute little blonde girl.
Oh, I'm very shallow, and I know that as a man, I'm visually, uh, stimulated. So my friend Candia Sanders had this other friend uh, named Bonnie, and I saw her picture on Candia's page. I went, "That is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen."
Oh.
I mean, she was movie star beautiful, maybe more than that. And I said, "You think it'd be okay if I message her?" She said, "Well, I've known her for a while. She's nice." So I messaged her, and she's like, "You have 5,000 friends. Why do you need another one?" I said, "Well, number one, I don't want you to be my friend. Um, but I saw you, and I felt this connection with you." And she says, "Okay, we can be friends." And after a
Oh,
couple of years, we were a lot more than friends. But it took a while to wear her down.
that's so sweet. What a lovely romantic story that is. That's so. Is she watching us today?
She's having a nap.
Oh, well, she'll have to watch the replay then.
Oh, I'll make a good clip out of it.
Oh, that's a good clip. Yeah, make
He
a good
does.
clip out of that.
Oh,
You do a lot of things with relationships, and this actually didn't come up in anything we talked about prior to you coming on, but you want to tell people, like, in your work with people who are having a relationship issues, like what the most common thing is, and if how if one person is meant for the other person, or tell them a little about your work with people in relationships.
that's like a half-hour long explanation, but I'll do
Give it a try.
it. The most common thing I see about relationships is that people do not communicate properly. Like, I want you to take care of the dishes in the dishwasher. But if you tell a man that somebody should be taking care of the dishwasher, his mind is going to go like, "Yeah, and it's you." Because you didn't ask me specifically, you're saying someone. And my mind says, "Well, you know the problem, you know how to fix it, go do it." But if you ask me directly, "Andy, would you go over and empty the dishwasher, please? That would be very helpful." Sure, I could do that. Because I was given a specific instruction, and I can't mess it up by going, "Well, you must mean you, because you're somebody too." So if you didn't ask me directly, you're not going to get much. But if you ask me directly, you will. And that's just a silly example, but that is the exact problem when women talk to men, is they are not specific enough about what they want, how they want it. But if you tell me how you want it, and you're specific that I have to do it, and you didn't give me a time frame, well, then I'll do it when I remember it. And that's a bad thing. You want me to do that now or today? Well, we have a dry erase board, and there are little jobs on it for me. They're usually fix-it jobs. And, during the month, I'll fix them because I'm good at that. The spirit of the object will tell me. And I was telling Bonnie that, if you communicate with the spirit of something, it will tell you how to fix it. And she's like, so she's over at the washing machine, and she's like, "Tell me what's wrong with you." And she said she got this picture in her mind that there's this little square door at the bottom. And that if you open that by pushing on it, there's a filter in there and it needs to be cleaned. And there will be water. So she gets a little pan. She pushes the square. She undoes the knob in there and water comes out. And you can see in that filter that there's a whole bunch of, you know, debris like hair and
Icky
fabric
stuff.
streams. And she pulled it out, pushed it back, and now she knows how to fix that, but she didn't know before. But the machine, the spirit of the machine, told her how to do it. So that's her job now. She's like, that needs to do it again. I said, the machine told you how to do it. Obviously, it wants you to do it. If it had shown me doing it, then I couldn't disagree with you. But since it showed you, that ain't my job. That's your job.
It must like
but
her then. That's what it
but pretty
is.
much everything else tells me how to fix it. So I had a mail Jeep. I was carrying the mail for a little while. I had 3 of these white Jeeps. And I should have known when I bought them all for $800 that it was not a good deal.
Oh dear.
So I'm
Oops.
driving one of the Jeeps and the drivetrain, that it's like a cylinder that goes from the transmission to the back wheels, breaks. And I'm like, crap. Well, I'll get one off the other 2 machines. Well, they don't have that one. They're all 3 different. And so I asked my Jeep, how do I fix this? And my Jeep says, go to the junkyard that's 2 miles away. So I go to the junkyard and I asked this gal, and this gal's, she's a smoker. She's overweight and she's got a voice like gravel, and she's smoking. And she's like, and I asked her, do you have any mail Jeeps? Well, you're gonna have to go out there and find out, because I don't know. But if you do find it, take yourself a bucket of tools over and get it off, and I'll charge you when you come back. I'm like, so I wandered around. And you know how in the Indian fighter movies, they always circle the wagons?
Yeah, sure.
I find this circle of vans, and there's maybe this much room to get between them, 18 inches or so. And I walk through them, and there in the center of that is a white mail Jeep. And I look under it, and there's the part that I need. And I look at it, and I ask the Jeep, what do I need? And it's like, you need a screwdriver and a wrench. I don't know what I need a wrench for, but so I go over and I get this bucket. I get a screwdriver, 2 kinds, because there's the flathead and the Phillips. So I bring them both, and I get a mallet, which is like a hammer, but it's made out of rubber, and I get a wrench, an adjustable wrench. So I asked the machine how to take it off. It says you take the screwdriver and you take these 2 clamps off at the back. When you take the 2 clamps off, push forward towards the front of the vehicle with the drive shaft, and it will drop down. Now, after you drop it down, then you have to pull it forward. And then my vision ended. Well, the inanimate has a sense of humor. And the part it didn't show me was important. So I take the 4 screws off to this side, to that side. I save them. I save the clamps, because you never know. Because when I put it back on my Jeep that needs it, I might lose one or need it. So I got them. I put those in the bucket. And then it told me to pull forward. After I pushed it back and it falls, then you pull forward. So I pull forward, and this giant gush of transmission fluid, which is red,
Oh.
comes gushing out of there, misses me by that much.
Oops.
And I'm like, okay, you've had your fun. Now I'm taking your gas cap and your oil dipstick. Thanks. But it almost got me. So communication again. I know it seemed like I was on a diversionary track, but no, it's all about communication. So the bunny and I have a book. Oh, this isn't it. This is it. Now you'll notice it has a pen, and in it we have some of our marriage rules.
Oh, neat.
And let's see, the Andy rules.
That's cool.
Mean what you say what you mean. So you remember when I told her that you should ask me specifically? She's still working on this one. You should understand what I say. You understand, Bonnie. No, I don't. I still interpret it through man wisdom, and man wisdom doesn't work with women. You know, if one cherry limeade soda pop is good, then two more are better. If one hot girl is good, then two more hot girls is better. Can you immediately see how that doesn't work with women? That don't work. Even though I tried to make it work, it don't work.
Kelly says about communication with women, she says it's because we are afraid. That's what she's saying.
If you're afraid of your partner, you're with the wrong partner.
I don't disagree with that.
No
You know,
means no.
yeah.
Doesn't mean maybe, it means no. Answer your phone calls. Oh, yeah. So anyways, we have a lot of rules over the years, and because we write them down, like this one here, keep your word. It's almost exactly like rule number 1. Say what you mean what you say.
Can you like publish that book of rules and then everyone will have a copy? That would be good.
Well, see, these are rules for her and I. They don't apply to everybody else.
They seem like they could though, don't they?
Well,
I
they
think
might
they
be,
seem
but
like they could.
see, my wife, as I told you, was the most beautiful woman I could find. But she's also a talker, and nobody is a stranger to her. So we're out and we're at line to go see the Cirque du Soleil show, and there's this group of people, 5 people back, and she's talking to one of the guys back there. And I said, honey, what do you think that guy thinks about you giving him your attention? And she's like, well, I think he thinks I'm friendly. And I said, well, you know, as a man, if a woman was giving me that kind of attention, I would think that she's not interested in her partner, but she's interested in me.
Oops.
Because her partner's right there. Is that the feeling you wanted to give me? Well, no, I'm just talking. I said, to him, you were flirting. It's not about what you meant to say, it's about how it's perceived. So we have a rule in there that says no flirting with men or women. So,
see, that's a good rule for everyone.
Like, I didn't understand that. I said, honey, you've been a hot woman all your life and you didn't understand that? Really? Okay.
Hey, maybe she didn't realize she was a hot woman. Do you think?
When you look like that and men stop to look, you're a hot woman. I mean, you know, even in her old age, she's hot. I keep telling her I'd rather be annoyed by you than anyone else. So, but she used to dye her hair blonde. And I said, why are you doing that? And she stopped. And her hair came out this white blonde color. I'm like, used to pay $200 a month to get that to look like that. Now it's happening for free.
if
I mean,
if someone wanted to um, book a session for relationships, how would they go about doing that for you, with you?
Well, they could go to my Facebook page and send me a private message, Walks with Thunder. Um, they could send me an email at walkswiththunder.com, which is on the screen there at the bottom, and send me an email with their phone number. And um, because we're running a special, instead of $7.77 a minute, it will be $5 a minute if you mention this podcast.
Oh, neat.
Oh, that's
Otherwise, it's
great.
$7.70 a minute because I just like that number. And for a long time, I was at like $1.99 or $2.99. And a friend of mine said, if you do not value your service, no one else will.
It's
I'm like,
true.
what number do you like? Like $7.77. And I'm like, I'm going to lose a lot of customers doing this. But I did it. I didn't lose anybody.
Hmm.
So
Your information's in the chat.
there you
In
go.
the comments, I put the information in there.
So the rules book, everybody should make their own rules book. And what I like to tell you to do is hold hands when you're having this discussion, because it's very difficult to yell at somebody when you're holding their hand. I
That's
made it part
good.
of my marriage vows in the second marriage. She's like, I
That's
hate
good.
it that I have to do this because I really want to yell at you right now. I know, but you gotta. Here's my
Well,
hand.
what do you
It's
do
Good
in
when
this rule book
advice.
too.
what do you do
That's
when
good
the rules are
advice.
broken?
There are consequences,
Mm-hmm.
and they're laid out in the book.
I see.
Withholding intimacy is not one of the consequences. So, how does President Trump sleep at night, Alina?
Oh, I don't remember. You told me. I forget.
Naked with a supermodel.
No.
Oh,
It's in the
goodness.
book. It's in that book right there.
That's funny.
She's cold now, so she wears a nightgown. But
Is she
back
still a
then,
model? Does she still model?
Bonnie never modeled.
No, Trump's wife. Does she still model?
I don't
I
think
don't
so.
think
No.
so. She's got a new movie out, but no, I don't think so.
Really? Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
some kind of
see,
documentary.
No.
he communicates. He says what he's going to do, and then he does it. Rule number one.
Mm.
I like that. He keeps his word. Also, new rule number one. But is he a rat bastard asshole? Probably. But I still like his style too.
That's probably a man thing. Just saying. It's probably a
If
man thing.
if you keep your word, that means you can be trusted. If you
Doesn't mean
don't
you're
keep your
doesn't mean
word,
you're nice.
the bunny tells me this all the time. She says, "I'm a good person. I may not be nice all the time, but I'm a good person." And I'm like, I can believe that.
So let's talk about your special news that we have coming up on Saturday the 14th. I don't have my calendar right here, but I think that's the date.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it will be at 10 a.m. You said 10 a.m. Pacific time, which is 10 o'clock for California. Isn't Arizona where you are? Wouldn't that be 11 o'clock for you?
It will be, because until daylight
Okay.
savings shifts, um, we're at mountain time. But the funny thing about Arizona is we don't have daylight savings time, but because the rest of the country does, well, I do not change my clock, um, the time of the event will change. So if daylight savings times happens before then, which it probably won't, then it'll be at 10. But because it hasn't happened yet, for me, it'll be at 11, even though it's 10 o'clock Pacific. 6 hours that way.
Oh, we think it changes March the 8th, which is
Yeah.
Sunday. So it will have changed by the time we have the event, I think.
Then it will be at 10 o'clock for me.
Okay.
Okay.
But my schedule will not change because the time here doesn't change, and I think that's hilarious. I still
So
have to deal with it, but I don't
you
in my
want
daily.
you want to tell them what the name of our event is going to be?
It's called Dealing with Demons, and I have since October gotten 5 new apprentices, and each one of them is being oppressed by a demonic force. Sometimes it's in 2 cases it's a demonic force um, that has the dark witches, the ones that have sold their soul to have a demonic power at their control. And I think that's a poor deal because eventually you're going to die. And when you die, you'll be tormented for the things that you're doing. So why would you make that deal? For the immediate joy of right now, this lifetime, and then, have my soul shrivel up and burn? That sounds bad. I'm sure it is bad. But that's the deal they made. And there are 2 groups like that coming after 2 separate apprentices. And
What?
that are not having a lot of success with that anymore. I talked with one of the apprentices this morning. She goes, in a dream, I was being attacked, and it put its hand up my shirt. And it wasn't sexual, it was just showing me that it could. And then I was rising up out of the bed, and she says, and I said, no, you can't do this. I command you to stop. And she's going back down in the bed because she's not being lifted anymore. And she says, I command you to leave this place and not return. Watch the thunder is my friend, and he's going to kick your ass if you bother him. Said, and then she said, I do not worship you, let me pass, which is the protection phrase. So when she told me that, I said, so my apprentices that are younger than 10 say that about, walks with thunder is my friend. He's going to beat you up if you bother me. So apparently, my young apprentices and some of the big girls say that word, that phrase. And I think that's hilarious. And she says, but when I said it, I thought it was funny too, and it lifted my spirits. And because it lifted my spirits, it really pissed that demon off because I was enjoying it. And that's what you want to see. So we'll be talking about things like that. We'll be talking about the protection phrase, I do not worship you, let me pass. We'll be talking about how to ignite your auric field so that it gives off a light that's harmful to negative entities, energies, and demons. We'll be talking about, how to make what I call a demon jar, where it sucks in negative energy and holds it there indefinitely.
Interesting. Neat.
There's a whole lot of stuff. We'll talk about what a demon is, what it can do, what you can do. Are there spiritual tools? We'll talk about some spiritual tools that you can use. And that you don't have to be the victim of a demonic force anymore. You can stand up and kick its butt.
How
And
would a
you don't know that. If you're being oppressed and you're still oppressed, you don't know that information. And this is a must see if you or know somebody that is being oppressed by this sort of energy.
That was my question. How would a person, just a regular person who's not necessarily tuned into a lot of things, how would they know if they're being oppressed by something that is not very pleasant, as we like to put it, or that are, something evil like that? How would they know that? Would there be signs? Would it be like a movie, things flying off shelves, things like that? Or would it be some other way that they could know that they were having
So
that problem?
some of it will be like a movie. If you saw the movie The Entity, it can be like that. You can be held down in the bed and have sleep paralysis while a shadow looms over you and menaces you and gives you fear because it's feeding off your fear. Or it might sexually assault you. Uh, Sometimes those are succubus or incubus, male and female versions. but it doesn't matter. The male version will still do horrible things to you if you're a man, and the female version will do not as horrible things. Because sometimes that's fun, but it will do things to you. And you don't want that because it'll suck your vitality. And you'll know that because you'll be awake for it, but paralyzed. Um, Sometimes there'll be a smell, the rotten egg smell. Sometimes there'll be signs like you just bought your milk, but it curdled. Sometimes you'll see them because they want you to see. They'll be in the wall and they'll just push against the paint. Sure, I'm in there. I had an apprentice who had a daughter that was a drug addict and a hooker. And she's like, I want her to get off this path. So I blessed her, but she missed the power. So she invited the demon back and it was even more powerful. So
That happens.
mom takes her out to dinner and she's wearing like this tube top showing off her tummy. She's a little chunky. But the demonic force shows itself, its face to her, and her tummy pushes against it. And that's like the movie The Frighteners, if you want to see that. And then the daughter, who's mad at her because she keeps telling you gotta go to rehab, you gotta, quit this horrible way of life. And the daughter picks her up. And this woman is not small. She's like 180, 200 pounds. Picks her up like she's nothing, throws her, and she hits the passenger side's front panel of her car above the wheel well, to the side
Good
of the wheel
grief.
well, and leaves a butt print, a deep one, in the side panel of the car. It's just, it hurt. And she saw the demon just laughing about it, pushed against the skin, just laughing about it. Those things really happen. And she liked that feeling of power, so she invited it back.
That happens. That does happen. Where a lot of times that's why you can't get rid of them is the person is interacting with them in a way that keeps it there because they feel like they've got power. They don't realize the trade-off is very often that you die because you've made this agreement with this creature. So
You,
it's if you feel oppressed, this would be a great event for you to come and see what Walks with Thunder does in terms of his way of dealing with demonic or really just evil entities, negative attachments, that kind of thing. And many of you do know, if you're watching this, you do know that you have had experiences like that. Sometimes it's a small thing. Sometimes it's something that just does not want to go away. Sometimes it's like that. So it would be a good event. It's $44.44. You can email Alina at, you want to tell us?
Awakening108 at proton.me. I'll be
there you
advertising for it. People will. I'll get the word out. I'll advertise. Don't worry. You'll see it.
For
So it,
people that are just watching us on YouTube who don't really come to my page or your page or Walks with Thunder's page, you can look us up on Facebook. You can look us up on, I think I have things on Instagram, but I don't really look there. But Facebook is a good place to contact us, or Messenger, or WhatsApp for me, and we will get you a link to the event, and you can make payment through Venmo or PayPal. And if you have questions, you can ask us about that too.
remember that a demonic force targets you at your most vulnerable. Like somebody just died and you're in grief, you're a target.
Yeah, it's
If
true.
you just got a divorce and you feel bad, you're a target. If something really bad happened, you've been fired, or some other traumatic experience, car accident, you become a target. They don't go after people that are happy and strong. They go after the weak. So you got to
Yeah,
be smarter.
I've had I've had cases with children and with people that are elderly or people that are ill, chronically, terminally ill. I have had people who are, being tormented this way because they are, as you say, in a weakened state. And it does make you vulnerable to that. It does.
They
Absolutely
also target you
does.
if you're a light worker.
That's true too.
Can they go after our animals?
They can go after anything around you. Your animals, your phone, your chair, your house, your car. They're not picky.
So they could potentially cause an animal to have seizures.
Most certainly. Not my Dr. Watson, though. My Dr. Watson has a shield. My Dr. Watson is a bright spirit. And I haven't seen them go after my animals because I've got a shield on my perimeter. I've got another shield on the house. I've got another one on the animals and me. And I'm protected by thunder spirits. I'm protected by um, some pretty big, powerful things, elementals and spirits. I met one spirit. I had just gotten a divorce from my second wife, and I was staying with my 70-year-old friend Nancy, and I was in my 50s. Just I was 49, going to turn 50. And I was walking my little Dissy dog out in the backyard, and her backyard is just this patch of grass, and then there's forest. I mean, 100-foot trees, and I hear this spinning of something through the air, and there's thunk, like somebody's throwing an axe, and it spins in the air. It hits a trunk tree of a tree, and it pulls it out and does it again. And I look, and I'm seeing something with like one pale glowing eye, and it's huge, and it's got this tail. It's like 10, 12 feet tall. And I turn my back on it, and I say, "Give me your best shot. If you don't kill me, I'm going to kick your ass." And I kept waiting for it. Nothing happened. I turn around, pick up my dog, and I said, "We have respect." And since then, people that attack me will disappear within 2 or 3 weeks or 2 or 3 months, and they're just gone. I don't know where they go. I don't care where they go, but they don't attack me anymore. They're gone. And I'm like, that was a great addition to the team. I don't know its name. I don't know what it is. It's big, it's bad, and and we have mutual respect. But
what's
I didn't
what's
order
your
it or anything. It just comes.
what's the worst case you've ever had in terms of demonic possession or attachment or harassment? What's the worst case that you remember?
It's one of the five that we have. The new apprentices is the worst one. And most, I'd say 85, 90% of the things that we do have been incredibly effective for that person. But there's a 10 or 15% that is still being used as a lesson because apparently that person needs to learn how to fight in their dream time. So they're attacking her in the dream time, and that's being allowed so she can learn that lesson. And normally, I would think that if she came to me as a client, that all would have stopped. But as an apprentice, the spirits use every opportunity and negative tool they can so that you're tested, so that you gain confidence and spiritual power from winning the battle. And when she said, "I do not worship you, let me pass," in the dream time, that's something I told her in her conscious time, and she remembered it in the dream. And then she remembered what the little kids say: "Walks of Thunder is going to kick your ass if you bother me." And I'm like, that's good. She's learning that lesson, and she will be rewarded with spiritual power and maybe a spiritual gift. a spiritual gift could be like the knowing or one of the clairs. I think there's like 5 clairs: clairaudience, clairvoyance, and so forth. And or strengthening of a spiritual power that you already have. It's a good and happy thing.
I want to ask the people that are watching, and there are a few of you, if you have any questions, now would be a really good time to ask him. And it can be about any of the subjects we've talked about or something we haven't talked about. You can ask whatever you want. And you can just post it in the comments there. And
I
and
didn't.
so I'm sorry, I was just going to tell them a little bit more about our live. It's going to be a live event with Andy, on the 14th, which is a Saturday, and it will be on Zoom. So once you've signed up and everything, we'll put you on it. We'll send you a Zoom link so that you can participate live yourself on the Zoom. And it's a good way to do that because then you're able to ask him questions directly, like we are asking him questions here now. So you won't have to like text it unless you just want the anonymity or whatever. But you're welcome to come on as well and ask some questions if you want to.
I didn't quite finish answering your first question,
Oh, I'm sorry.
and part of that was the attraction part. Um, a lot of people think that soulmate or twin flame condition is something that you read about and you see it in movies, but that it's not real. And it is real. And I gave myself a blessing after I got divorced. And I said, I want the woman of my dreams to come and love me. And I thought keeping it simple was the best way. And that in itself was a huge lesson. So the first month I met this, attractive lady and we hit it off. And we were dating. In the second month, I met this really attractive redheaded lady, and we were having, and, I was not exclusive, and I told him I just got a divorce. I'm not going to be exclusive, so we could go out. And then I met this other blonde lady. We had a great connection. And the definition of a soulmate is that you think about them. They're in your dreams, and you can hear their thoughts, and they can hear yours. And we had that. But twin flame is like a soulmate connection on fire. It's highly paranormal. And you dream together, and you both remember the dream like it's real. And they can hear your thoughts. So my pal Kirk and I go to Las Vegas. We're having a great time. I'm learning how to play craps. And, the guys running the tables going, somebody's getting phone calls. And what do you mean by that? He says, well, you're placing the bet for hard eights, which is 2 4s, and you're getting it. So you're getting a message of what to bet, and that's a phone call. Oh, didn't even know I was doing it. But I was winning. I was doing well. But it was a dollar bet table. Most you could bet was $1. And because they were teaching you how to play the game. And so Kirk and I are wandering around looking for something to eat, and we see this buffet. So we go towards the buffet, and there's this really famous cowboy and a neon cowboy thing, a cowgirl thing. And it's turned into like this strip club. And we're walking past it, and we could smell this gal like 30 feet before we encountered her. It's perfume. It's heavy in the air. And she goes, I'm going to give you guys a ticket to come in for free. And there's a free drink, too. We're like, I could have a drink. I don't drink alcohol, but I drink soda pop. It's like an diagnosed diabetic back then. I can do that. So I go in there and we're having fun, because we're visually stimulated and we're gods, and yeah, it's low vibration. What can I tell you? Where what stays in Vegas, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Apparently, I'm breaking that rule. Um, so for the rest of the trip, every time we smell that perfume, we're like, I smell stripper, because we thought that was fun. And so my girlfriends called me and they'd say, why are you and Kirk sniffing the air? I cannot tell. You need to validate what I saw. I said, fine. We're, we're, we went to a strip club. It was free. We had a great time and we left. But um, the lady that gave us the ticket smelled like this perfume, and we smelled this perfume in the crowd, and there are crowds all over Vegas. I smell stripper. And I'm like, fine, thank you. But you really shouldn't have gone to that stripper joint. I'm like, what happens in Vegas, babe? And she's like, oh, no, I could see it. So the next one calls me. She's like, why are you and Kirk sniffing the air? And what's it got to do with strippers? And she's like more tuned in. I'm like, why do I have to explain this? We are not exclusive. I'm a free agent, and I'm a good person. And granted, I'm in Sin City, but I don't see how that's horrible. I'm learning how to play blackjack or craps. How come you're not asking me about that? Because that doesn't involve other women. Okay, okay, fine. But I was called on the carpet for it, and I'm like, well, can't do that anymore because they're watching, they're listening, they're dreaming, and they want validation. I'm like, I don't want to give it to you, but I will. And I'd had enough of that, so we strictly kept it to buffets and gambling. And but the twin flame relationship is highly paranormal, and the bunny and I have a twin flame relationship. Sometimes I know she's like, I forgot to tell you, but did you bring, and I'll have it. She goes, you're in my head. You brought the avocados I was going to ask you to get. And I'm like, yeah, I got them. Because I'll have a feeling that I need to pick them up. Because she wants it. Because we're tied together. And we have a lot of that sort of thing. You should see us at the casino because we're like, she's like, you're my lucky charm. Yeah, maybe you need to rub me a little bit. And she'll rub my tummy. I'm like,
Kelly has a question for you. She wants to know, will I be able to help others with this once I can't see what that is. Once
My lessons are learned.
yeah, some of that was obscured for me. Thank you.
well,
Sorry.
I know we joke about this term, demon hunter, but I believe that's what she'll be. And she'll definitely be able to give people the lessons that I've given her. And she'll be able to use those lessons anytime she wants. And that her auric field will start to glow like mine. If you guys look right here,
I see it.
it goes all the way over here. This bright white light. And if you look over here, it's a little steamy right there. See it? Where it's
I
thicker.
actually see it about an inch above your I see it's your right shoulder. I see it like a layer, like an inch above your shoulder there.
When your spiritual energy is strong, you can see that even in daylight. And she'll get that glow when she becomes a demon hunter. It'll be part of the job, part of the armor. So dark spirits run from me these days. They don't want to be in my light, my spiritual light. And my second wife and I used to live at the beach on Hood Canal, which is seawater. Whales go in there. And my neighbor Pat used to share my DVD obsession. See, every Tuesday they used to come out, and maybe they still do come out with DVDs, the new one. And I would buy a new DVD every week. And when I was going to get one, I'd drop off my, I already watched one to her. And after dropping one off, my second wife started the car. And I walked over and she says, "Did you see it?" "See what?" She goes, "There was this huge, like, hulking bear running from you. And it was like, looked like it must have weighed like 2 tons. It was the size of a small SUV, and it was running like hell, scared as like it was scared of something. And then a few seconds later, you come walking around the corner nonchalantly, like, like you don't even know what's happening. Well, I didn't know it was happening until you told me. But it was running like something bad was after it. This huge hulking thing, and I'm like, damn, I wish I'd have seen it. I was so excited about getting a new DVD, I wasn't even paying attention. And so I think that that's what will happen for her, is that her light will be ignited without her having to consciously do it, like mine is ignited.
We want to, with these few minutes that we have left, we want to put up again the email address that people can sign up for the event, and you can pay through Venmo or PayPal, and we will send you a Zoom link at the time. I don't know if it's the day before or during before the actual event. We'll send you a link, and you can come and talk to Andy and enjoy his knowledge about things that aren't very pleasant, is how I like to refer them. And you can find him on Walks with Thunder. I've recently had a session with him myself, and it was a good one. So that was my birthday present to me, was to talk to Andy. So there we go. And it was very enlightening in very many ways, and it was good. We liked it. I thought it was
Oh,
good.
I had a great time too.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun, and I got to meet Miss Bunny, so that was great.
Oh, the bunny loves you guys. She's
Aw.
like, "Alina's so good." Alina puts up a post on my page, and suddenly it's got 750 likes, and it's getting bigger all the time. And that's her first post, and we're like, we made a good choice. She's
Aw.
doing well.
we have one more question.
Sure.
Kelly says, "You said you and Bunny are tied together. How do you untie those bonds after leaving a relationship, or even while you're still there to get out sooner?" Do we have time for that?
The soulmate and the twin flame bond can be severed, but every day you have to say, your spirit is not welcome here. Don't come back. And you may have to say it 1,000 times the first week, but it'll get less and less and less as time goes by. And you can block that connection. But there's always going to be a tendril where you'll know if that person's okay or if something bad happened to them. But it doesn't mean that you're connected and think their thoughts or they think yours. But they will still know when you're thinking about them. They'll feel it.
We
So,
have another person who says, "Thank you for this talk today." So they are watching and listening and uh, holding on to every word.
did you notice that I didn't use buzzwords? I didn't speak in a foreign language. Everything was in English and easily understandable. Did you
Mhm.
notice we didn't have to kill a chicken? We
And
didn't have to dance naked under the moon. We didn't have to put on leather and feathers. We
Nope.
didn't have to play music. We didn't have to chant. We didn't have to sell our souls. We just said the words.
it's always a lot of fun with you, and the things that you inform us, the information you give us, it's always very enlightening, and we can't thank you enough, and we also can't wait for the event. So keep an
Mhm.
Don't
eye on your Facebook page because you'll see us coming through soon with more information.
don't forget the relationship rule book.
There you go. I like the stickers on the rule book. I like them.
I might have to make
Those
a
aren't
post about
stickers.
it.
That's part of the design.
That's so cute.
Yeah, that's the way Bunny is. She's cute. See what she says? I heart my shaman.
Aww.
Oh,
Isn't she sweet?
That's
it's
awesome.
very sweet. So she's watching us. Hi, Bunny.
It says Bunny,
Hi,
the
Bunny.
rules. And then over here it says WWT. You know, she's like, I'm your biggest fan.
I was just gonna say that.
And I'm like, I'm your biggest fan, sweetheart. Because, I feel very lucky that she's with me. And I think I look at her and I still, I'm still in love. I'm like, damn, she's pretty.
Aw.
She's like, I'm old and wrinkly and fat. And I said, not to me. I still see you the way I saw you when we met. You're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. I still love.
That's real love right there. That's real love.
So the rule book, hold hands and say, I'd like to have a rule book so we don't keep repeating the same arguments and all our arguments would be fresh ones. That will go in the book when we resolve it. We'll both sign it, put a date on it. And then if we have that argument again, then somebody's going to have to do extra chores around the house.
Oh, funny.
Okay. There'll be a consequence. Or, you know, um, somebody's going to have to take me out to a fancy dinner. Or, I
You've
like
never
when
had to. You've never had to have a volume two, right? Just one volume, not two
we're still in the
volumes.
first book. We haven't even
Oh,
filled it up.
okay, that's good.
I think there's maybe 10 or 15 pages. And, we've got the rule. A rule will take up like this much space. So there's 3 or 4 rules on each page. And, but I like the one, you've been bad, go to our room.
That's
Come
That's
on.
funny.
That's a
a
bad
good one.
consequence. You've
That's a
been
good one.
bad, go to our room.
That's funny.
Insert evil laugh here. Hey, thanks for having me today. I've had such a great time with you. And I feel very blessed to have you two in my circle.
Oh, thank you.
And we are equally blessed. So thank you so much for that. And for showing up and being yourself. We love that about you too. We do.
We had a great time.
Yes, we did.
And I love telling people that it's easy. If you're suffering on your path, you're doing it wrong.
Exactly. You're right.
And when Kelly said that she felt joy and laughter, I said, Walk with Thunder is going to kick your ass. And it made her feel happy and it made the demonic force feel bad. And I'm like, yeah, that's the way to do that.
Kelly says thank you.
She's awesome. I'll see you guys later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
But see, I don't know how to get off here now.